Ho, whoa. Eat my gold. Eat my gold. Say eat my gold. Eat my gold.
Hello everybody, it's me Jack Wright here, known as Jackpot Button Lewis on YouTube, and welcome to a brand new video series here on my official YouTube channel titled Wright World Cup Diaries. Now, as you can tell from the title of course, this video series, as you know, of course, it is the middle of course, this year of 2018, and of course, the greatest football, of course, tournament in the world is back for another year. That is the World Cup, which is taking place, which just also actually just happened, of course. It started just over a week ago in Russia. And of course, this is, like I said, if you don't know what, of course, I've decided, the reason why I've decided to do this video series, well, as you could tell, since I am a huge England fan, I should say that again, as I've just said there already, I, of course, am a massive fan of England, and I have been. And after the absolutely very embarrassing, of course, performance we had 2 years ago at the Euros, when we embarrassingly, of course, got knocked out by Iceland in the knockout stages. Of course, like I said, I still couldn't get over that we lost to, of course, actually a team that I never thought would ever have so much success. And unbelievably, of course, just quite recently, with, of course, them drawing against Argentina, that was just really, really something. And I never would have thought that Iceland would manage to equalise when they played just a few days ago. But anyway, of course, like I said, the reason why I'm doing, of course, this series is that I, of course, am going to be following, as of course, and also giving my, of course, my opinion and reactions to every single game. Unbelievably, one of the youngest ever sides that we've had, of course, that have played for England, of course, our national team, in the whole of English football history. I mean, we've actually got a very, very young side, of course, of players that have never played on, of course, in the World Cup level. And they may have played for their own clubs, but also playing internationally. But we've had a real great start, of course, with our record. We managed to qualify for the World Cup with no problem from last year. And unbelievably, we were so close to winning all of our games. We only just drew one game, but we didn't lose any of our other games that followed that as well. So we're looking in very, very good shape indeed. And of course, with the first match, of course, of in our group, that we actually faced Tunisia. And unbelievably, just over 20 years ago this year, they were actually the same country we actually played over 20 years ago at the World Cup in, I wouldn't say just Brazil, but also in France, of course, in 1998. And we scored 2-0 against them with goals coming from Paul Gascoigne and... was it Paul Gascoigne? No, I was going to say, I've actually been told, I think it's actually Alan Shearer and Paul Scholes. I do apologise, honestly. I mean, I actually, believe it or not, guys, of course, the 1998 FIFA World Cup in France was actually my very first World Cup I ever saw, and I think I was only about 3 or 4 years old, because I was born in 1994. And unbelievably, a World Cup also happened in that year as well, but we didn't do well as such as well either. So, and of course, we want to rectify how we... Of course, I think the most embarrassing, of course, performance I think we ever had then, just with the Euros just a few years ago. But our last World Cup, we even got knocked out at the group stages by bloomin' Uruguay, would you believe? But hopefully, of course, as always, we're always very hopeful that, of course, this year our team of England can do really well in this tournament. And we've got some very interesting matches coming up. Like I said, we are going to be facing Tunisia in a few days' time. And not just that, we also have got the teams of Panama and Belgium in our group. We're, of course, playing in Group G at the moment. And of course, we haven't normally been playing in that group before, but I think it's the very first time we're actually been placed in that group in the World Cup for the first time. But it is going to be very, very interesting. And like I said already, in this series, I am going to be following England's journey to hopefully world glory as they hopefully try to make their way to the final for this year's World Cup here in Russia, of course. But I wouldn't just say here in Russia, but also here, of course, here for myself, of course, watching here in, of course, England, but also following the team and also supporting them over, of course, the east side of Europe in Russia. So, all you England fans out there, do stay with me, of course, over the next month and a half, and indeed the next few weeks or so, as of course I'll be following and even once again giving my, of course, my opinions on our hopeful team that will bring that iconic, of course, golden trophy back home to our very own legendary noble country itself of England. So, of course, that is the end of this episode, this very introductory episode of Wright's World Cup Diaries. But do, of course, stick around in the next few, of course, days of this week as we play our first 2 games of the group, where we face our very first opponents, unbelievably, from 10, well, I wouldn't just say 10, but also 20 years ago, would you believe, where, of course, we actually faced them from just over 20 years ago. We faced Tunisia as our opening game to, of course, start our FIFA World Cup campaign, and then we faced for the very first time, and I don't think we've ever actually faced them any other time, and that is, we'll be facing Panama of course, the country that is based in South America. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I may, of course, it may sound a little bit shoddy, but this is the very first time I'm actually doing something like this, and I'm really excited for this series. I have taken inspiration from a load of people who, of course, follow football as much as I do. They're very, very passionate England supporters, or even as well as, particular, of course, club supporters of particular clubs, of course, here in England, in the course of the English Football League. But anyway, of course, thank you very much for watching, and if you have not already, please, of course, give a like on this video, comment down below for your thoughts, and also please subscribe for the upcoming episodes of my brand new video, of course, series, that is Wright's World Cup Diaries. Until then, from me, Jack Wright, see you in the next video of my video series, once again, of Wright's World Cup Diaries. See you next time. Au revoir, adios, au Wiedersehen. See you next time, guys. Goodbye.
Say ho! Ho! Say ho! Whoa! Ho! Whoa! Eat my goal! Eat my goal! Say eat my goal!